You know, getting older comes with a lot of surprises, doesn't it? We spend most of our lives imagining what getting older will look like. You might picture enjoying your golden years with plenty of relaxation, traveling, and maybe spending time with your family. But sometimes reality feels a little different. The body doesn't quite move like it used to, and things that were once second nature become unexpectedly challenging. I'm sure you've noticed it yourself. Little things, those quiet changes that sneak up on you, ones that no one really talks about. But here's the thing, these changes don't have to be daunting. The more we understand about them, the easier it is to deal with them. In fact, that's what this video is all about. Understanding some of the things you might not have expected as you age and learning how to handle them with grace. Because, honestly, getting older doesn't have to feel like a decline. It can be a time for new experiences and, yes, some challenges, but we can meet them head on. Today, we're diving into a few of the things many seniors face. Things you might not have been prepared for, and I want to share some practical tips to help you manage them. You're not alone in this, and there's no shame in adjusting to these changes. So let's get into it. First, have you noticed how hard it is sometimes to remember names? It's something that happens to everyone as they get older, but when it happens to you, it can feel a little embarrassing. Just recently, I heard a story from a woman named Emily. She was at the grocery store, walking down the aisle when she bumped into a neighbor she'd known for years. She greeted her, smiled, and then, well, her neighbor's name just slipped away. It was awkward, and Emily felt a little frustrated. But here's the thing, forgetfulness, especially when it comes to names or important details, is incredibly common as we age. It's one of those quiet changes no one really talks about, but it happens to all of us at some point. The good news is, it doesn't mean you're losing your mind. It's simply a part of aging. And believe it or not, there are ways to handle it. If this has happened to you, or if you're worried about it happening, there's something simple you can do. Try writing down key details when you meet someone new. Their name, something important about them, whatever helps you remember. You can even set up reminders on your phone. When you know you'll be meeting that person again, a quick glance at your notes can jog your memory. And if you forget their name, don't stress about it. It's okay to ask again. Most people will understand. And it's a simple way to keep the conversation flowing and show that you care about the connection. The key is not to panic. We all forget sometimes. Now, let's talk about something else you may have noticed. Exhaustion. You wake up in the morning and you're already tired. You start doing simple tasks like making lunch or walking around the house. And suddenly, it feels like you've just run a marathon. This is something that Emily mentioned too. She used to move around all day without a problem, always staying active. But lately, even small tasks seem to take so much more effort. It can be frustrating, and it can really knock your confidence. You're not alone in this, though. Sudden fatigue or feeling exhausted after what used to be a simple task is incredibly common as we age. What's going on here? Well, our bodies naturally start to slow down. Our energy levels aren't as high as they once were, and we might tire more quickly. But here's something to keep in mind. You don't have to just accept it. There are ways to work with your body's needs. The key is to pace yourself. Spread out your tasks throughout the day so you're not trying to do everything at once. And don't hesitate to take breaks. If you feel your energy dipping, give yourself permission to rest. Sometimes, just 5 minutes of sitting and breathing can make a huge difference. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated. Dehydration can make you feel more tired, so drink water throughout the day. And if you feel like you need a nap, take it. Your body is telling you it needs a little more rest. Don't ignore it. And while we're on the subject of energy, let's talk about something else that can be a bit of shock. Weight gain. Emily told me she's been struggling with this recently. Despite maintaining the same routine, she noticed that her clothes weren't fitting the same. The number on the scale was creeping up, and it left her feeling defeated. It's one of those things that's hard to accept. You've been active, you've eaten healthy, but the weight is still coming on. This is more common than you might think. As we age, our metabolism slows down, which makes it easy to gain weight, especially around the midsection. It's frustrating, to say the least. But here's the good news. Just because it's happening doesn't mean you're stuck with it. One of the best things you can do is focus on your diet. As our metabolism slows, we need fewer calories, and it's important to adjust your portion sizes. But that doesn't mean you can't enjoy food. The goal is to focus on nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, and cut back on processed foods and sugars. It's also about staying active, even if that means going a bit slower than you used to. Emily found that taking regular walks, even if they were just 20 or 30 minutes, helped her keep her metabolism moving. And don't forget about strength training. It's not just for bodybuilders. Keeping muscle mass is important for your metabolism, and it's a great way to boost your overall health. These things, like forgetting names, feeling exhausted, and dealing with weight gain, might seem like small, frustrating changes, but they're normal. They're part of the journey, and you don't have to face them alone. There are things you can do to manage them, and there's no shame in asking for help when you need it. Emily is learning to navigate these changes, and she's not letting them define her. Instead, she's embracing the fact that aging brings new opportunities to adjust, grow, and live fully. So, take a deep breath. You're doing just fine. And remember, this is just the beginning of our conversation. We've still got more to explore, and I'll be here to guide you through it every step of the way. As we keep moving forward in this conversation about aging and the surprises it brings, let's take a moment to acknowledge something many of us have felt at some point: losing your sense of connection. It happens gradually, like the slow fading of a photograph. Emily shared that she's been noticing how many of her close friends have either moved away or passed on, and the spaces where they used to meet seem emptier. She used to enjoy long afternoons filled with laughter and companionship, but now those days feel like they belong to another time. This feeling of loneliness is something many seniors face as they age, and it's one of those truths no one really talks about. It's hard to put into words how isolating it can feel when your social circle begins to shrink, especially when you realize that your ability to get out and about isn't what it used to be. You're left with the memories of those good times, but fewer opportunities to create new ones. That's when loneliness starts to creep in. It's important to recognize this, not as something you have to accept, but as something you can work through. One of the best ways to combat loneliness, and Emily has found this too, is by reaching out, even in small ways. Look for local groups or community centers where people your age can meet and share experiences. You'd be surprised how many activities there are: book clubs, gardening groups, art classes, cooking workshops. The possibilities are endless. And if getting out feels like a challenge, don't forget about the internet. Online communities can provide that same sense of connection. There are social media groups, online classes, and virtual meetups that allow you to stay in touch with people who share your interests. You may not have the same circle you once did, but that doesn't mean you can't find new connections or rekindle old ones. And remember, those small interactions, even just a chat with a neighbor or a quick call to a family member, can make a world of difference in fighting off feelings of isolation. So, next time you're feeling like it's just you, take a moment to reach out. It's often in those simple, everyday conversations that we feel the warmth of connection again. Now, let's talk about something else that might be sneaking up on you: your mobility. I hear from a lot of people that they use a walk with ease, do chores without thinking twice, and bend down without a second thought. But recently, Emily has been noticing that even simple movements, things she used to do effortlessly, are becoming a bit more challenging. Tasks like walking to the mailbox or tie her shoes are starting to take more effort. And if this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, it's common to experience a decline in mobility. Our muscles and joints don't move like they once did, and that can make everyday tasks seem like obstacles. But here's the good news. Just because your body is changing doesn't mean you're stuck with it. There are ways to maintain and even improve your mobility. Emily has started incorporating regular stretching into her routine. Nothing fancy, just a few minutes a day. Gentle stretches help keep your joints and muscles flexible, and strengthening exercises keep your muscles strong. Even a quick daily walk around the block can make a difference. These small actions can help maintain your independence and improve your range of motion. And if you're wondering what kind of exercises you can do, start simple. Yoga is fantastic for maintaining flexibility, and water aerobics is a great low-impact exercise that's easy on the joints. It's all about consistency. Even if it's just a few minutes each day, your body will thank you for it. So, take the time to stretch, walk, or do whatever feels right for you. It's your body, and you still have the power to take care of it. Let's move on to something else that can catch you off guard: your sleep. It's one of those things we often take for granted until it starts becoming a struggle. Emily has always prided herself on getting a good night's sleep, but lately, she's found herself waking up in the middle of the night and struggling to get back to sleep. And it's not just her. Many seniors face the same challenge. It can be incredibly frustrating when sleep, which should be restful, starts to feel elusive. The reasons behind this can vary, but as we age, changes in hormones, stress, or even physical discomfort can disrupt our sleep. If you've been dealing with this, I want to remind you that you're not alone. There are simple things you can do to improve the quality of your rest. Start by setting a consistent bedtime routine. Go to bed at the same time each night, and wake up at the same time each morning. This helps regulate your body's internal clock. And if you're someone who drinks coffee in the afternoon, consider cutting back. Caffeine can stay in your system longer than you think and affect your sleep. Another great tip is to create a relaxing environment in your bedroom. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. You might even try using a white noise machine or fan if you find that helpful. And before bed, try incorporating some relaxation techniques. Deep breathing, gentle stretching, or even a warm bath can help calm your mind and prepare your body for sleep. If you're still struggling, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. They can help pinpoint any underlying issues and offer solutions to improve your sleep. As we age, our bodies are bound to change in ways we didn't expect. But that doesn't mean we have to accept these challenges without a fight. From dealing with loneliness to managing our mobility and improving our sleep, there are small but powerful steps we can take to stay healthy, active, and connected. And as Emily has shown us, we don't have to navigate these changes alone. Whether it's reaching out for social support, staying active, or making adjustments to our routines, we have the power to live well, no matter our age. So, the next time you feel a bit off or notice something's changed, don't be discouraged. Aging may come with challenges, but it's also a chance to live smarter, adapt, and thrive. Now, let's dive into something that many seniors might not expect: changes in our senses. For years, you might have relied on your sharp vision and hearing, but now you're starting to notice things that weren't an issue before. Maybe you found yourself squinting at the text in your favorite book, or you've had to ask people to repeat themselves a few times during conversations. Emily's found herself in this very situation. She's always prided herself on her sharp senses, but these days, her vision and hearing aren't what they used to be. She now wears glasses to read, and even with them, she finds it harder to follow conversations in noisy environments. It can be frustrating, especially when you feel disconnected from the world around you. But here's the thing: you're not alone in this. Vision and hearing changes are a natural part of aging. It's a shift we all face, but it doesn't mean we have to let it take away from our enjoyment of life. The first thing to remember is that there's no shame in seeking help. Whether it's glasses, hearing aids, or other devices, these tools are designed to help you maintain your connection to the world. Regular eye exams and hearing tests are essential as we get older. They can catch problems early, and you'll be surprised at how much a new prescription or a hearing aid can improve your quality of life. And if you haven't already, it's worth scheduling those checkups. Many times, small adjustments like a new pair of glasses or hearing aids can make a huge difference in how you experience the world. I know it can feel frustrating at first, especially if you've always relied on your senses to navigate life. But once you find the right solutions, it's a game changer. Just remember, your quality of life doesn't have to suffer because of changes in your senses. Embrace the tools and support that can help you stay engaged and connected. Now, I want to bring up something that I think often gets overlooked: temperature sensitivity. It's something that slowly crept up on Emily. She used to love sitting outside on a warm, sunny afternoon or taking a brisk walk on a chilly winter day. But now, she finds that the temperature, whether it's too hot or too cold, feels unbearable. The warm sunshine that used to feel comforting now makes her feel overheated, and the cold of winter seems to cut right through her. It's strange how these shifts happen, almost without warning. And if you've noticed a similar change, you're not alone. Our bodies become more sensitive to temperature as we age. The reasons behind this are numerous, but the result is the same. What used to feel like a comfortable temperature can now feel extreme. But the good news is that you can take simple steps to manage this. One of the best ways to stay comfortable is to dress in layers. Layering your clothes helps you adjust throughout the day. During summer, breathable fabrics like cotton or linen can help you stay cool, while wool or fleece will keep you warm in the colder months. And in your home, small adjustments can make a big difference. A fan or air conditioning can keep the summer heat at bay, while extra blankets or a heating pad can add warmth when the weather gets chilly. These simple strategies can help you stay comfortable no matter the season. Another important piece of this puzzle is how our bodies react to changes in our mood. Aging can bring with it more emotional ups and downs. Emily told me that she's noticed something unsettling. She gets frustrated or irritated much more easily than she used to. A minor inconvenience, like a delayed delivery or forgotten appointment, can set her off in ways it never did before. And she's not alone in this. Many seniors experience increased irritability, and it's often linked to hormonal shifts, changes in brain chemistry, and the stresses that come with aging. If this sounds familiar, you might feel like you're losing control of your emotions. But it's important to remember that you're not alone in this struggle, and there are ways to manage those feelings. Emily found that deep breathing helped her in those moments of frustration. It's simple but effective. When you feel that irritability rising, try to pause and take a few deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, hold for a few seconds, and exhale gently. This can help calm your nervous system and bring you back to the present moment. It's also helpful to practice mindfulness. Take a moment each day to check in with yourself, to acknowledge how you're feeling and why. Sometimes, just being aware of your emotions can help you respond in a more balanced way. Another powerful tool for managing irritability is focusing on gratitude. When Emily started doing this, it had a huge impact. Instead of focusing on the things that were frustrating her, she began to focus on the things she was thankful for, even the little things like a cup of tea or a phone call from a friend. Practicing gratitude daily can shift your mindset and help you feel more at peace. The goal is not to ignore your feelings, but to find ways to manage them and bring more calm into your life. It's okay to feel frustrated or irritable. That's normal. But you don't have to let those emotions control you. And now, let's touch on something else that can be a hard pill to swallow: the loss of independence. For so many of us, independence is one of the most important things we cherish. We like being able to do things on our own, whether it's running errands, cooking meals, or taking care of our home. But as we age, there are moments when we have to ask for help. Maybe you found yourself needing assistance with something that once felt effortless, like grocery shopping or getting your house cleaned. And it's tough. It can feel like a loss of freedom or like you're burdening someone else. Emily shared that this was a particularly hard adjustment for her. She's always been fiercely independent, but she had to face the reality that sometimes asking for help was necessary. It's important to remember that asking for help doesn't mean you're weak or incapable. In fact, it can be empowering. It allows you to focus your energy on what really matters and maintain your independence in new ways. Whether it's asking a friend to help with a small task, hiring someone to help with cleaning, or simply letting a family member assist with groceries, there's no shame in accepting support. It's not about giving up your independence. It's about adapting and finding new ways to live fully. So, if you've noticed that you're asking for help more often, know that you're not alone. It's part of aging, and it's okay. You don't have to do everything on your own. Reaching out for help can actually give you more time and energy to enjoy the things you love. You're not losing your independence. You're simply adapting to the changes that come with age. As we come to the final part of this conversation about the changes aging brings, let's talk about something that's a bit of a mix between physical and emotional challenges: the loss of sharpness in our memory and focus. Emily noticed it too. She's always been a lover of books, but lately, she's found herself struggling to focus. The pages that once brought her so much joy now seem harder to absorb. A few minutes into reading, she's distracted, and the story feels like it's slipping through her fingers. If you've ever experienced this, a decline in focus, or difficulty remembering details, you're certainly not alone. It's something that happens to many of us as we age. But here's the thing. Losing focus or having memory lapses doesn't mean your mind is gone. It's a natural part of the aging process, and it doesn't define who you are. There are ways to work with these changes, and one of the best things you can do is keep your brain engaged. Emily found that doing puzzles, playing word games, or even working on crossword challenges helped sharpen her mind. Reading can still be a great way to stimulate your brain, but breaking it up into shorter sessions may be more manageable. Instead of trying to power through a whole chapter, try reading for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. This allows you to maintain your focus and enjoy the process. Learning something new is another excellent way to keep your mind sharp. Whether it's picking up a new hobby, learning to play a musical instrument, or even trying out a new language, engaging in these activities can help build new neural connections. These mental challenges are not only fun, but they also keep your brain active. And let's not forget the importance of getting enough sleep, eating a balanced diet, and staying physically active. All of these play a role in cognitive health, and they work together to help preserve your memory and concentration. It's easy to feel frustrated when your mind doesn't seem as sharp as it once was. But remember, this doesn't mean you're losing your intelligence or abilities. Your mind is still powerful, and with the right tools and habits, you can keep it sharp for years to come. Now, let's talk about something that's often a bit of a surprise to seniors. Changes in your body's sensitivity to temperature. As Emily shared, what once felt like a comfortable temperature might now feel unbearable. Whether it's the heat of summer or the chill of winter, extreme temperatures can suddenly feel overwhelming. You might find yourself avoiding activities you used to enjoy, like taking a walk in the sun or bundling up for a brisk winter day. This increased sensitivity is a common part of aging. It can be caused by changes in circulation, the natural aging of your body, or even changes in your skin and how it responds to temperature. But don't worry, there are plenty of ways to stay comfortable. Layering your clothing is one simple yet effective strategy. By adding or removing layers, you can easily regulate your body's temperature. During the warmer months, consider wearing breathable fabrics like cotton or linen, which allow air to flow through. And when it's colder, wool or fleece can keep you warm without making you feel too heavy. You can also make adjustments at home to help you stay comfortable. Use fans or air conditioning during hot days, and add extra blankets or a heating pad when it's cold outside. It's all about finding ways to make sure you're comfortable in any weather. And if you find you're particularly sensitive to temperature, don't hesitate to reach out to your doctor. Sometimes, underlying issues can affect your body's ability to regulate temperature, and your healthcare provider can offer solutions to help you manage it. Finally, let's wrap up this conversation with a bit of reflection. Aging doesn't have to be about losing yourself or feeling diminished by the changes you experience. It's about adjusting, adapting, and finding new ways to live fully. The truth is, the things we've talked about today, forgetfulness, fatigue, changes in our senses of mobility, irritability, and even asking for help, are all a natural part of the aging process. But none of these challenges define who you are. They're just part of the journey. By acknowledging these changes and accepting them as a normal part of life, you empower yourself to take control of how you age. And the good news is, there are simple steps you can take to live a full and vibrant life despite them. From engaging in mental and physical activities to seeking help when needed, every small action you take can help improve your quality of life. So, the next time you notice a change, whether it's in your body, your mind, or your emotional state, remember, you're not alone and you're not powerless. Embrace these challenges as opportunities for growth and new experiences. Aging doesn't mean giving up on the things you love. It means finding new ways to enjoy them. I hope this video has given you some helpful insights and inspiration. Remember, aging is a journey, and while it comes with its bumps, it also comes with so many beautiful moments. Keep taking care of yourself, stay active, and never hesitate to ask for support when you need it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a comment below. Share your own experiences and tips. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more advice and support to help you live your best life. Remember, the goal isn't just to live longer, It's to live better. And you're already on the right track.